You're listening to a production of SportsLink Digital Radio.
It's National Girls and Women in Sports Day here at Worthen Arena. The Ball State Cardinals take on their MAC rival in the NIU Huskies for the last time for now. But who will get the last laugh? That is to be determined tonight. I'm Roen Elbert, that's Ryan Stojetz. What a great day to be playing some Ball State women's basketball on National Girls and Women in Sports Day. Makes it all the more important.
Absolutely, Roan. It's a super cool opportunity we have to get to see this Cardinal team play in front of the Muncie faithful here at home in Worthen Arena on a day where we celebrate all of the wonderful female athletes on this campus and across the country. It's a great rivalry, a great matchup. These two teams at opposite ends of things when you look at where they are as a program, the MAC standings, but still always a fun rivalry when these two schools get together in any sport.
Yeah, let's talk about that a little bit. This is the last time NIU will play Ball State unless NIU makes the MAC tournament and they play in that regard. But at this point, that might be a stretch for the Huskies. They're 2-8 in MAC play. They're joining the Horizon League next year as they join the Mountain West on the football side of things. NIU, it's been a down season. They have 5 players out due to injury tonight. But what will it take for them to shock the world tonight?
Well, I think you have to go back to their last game against Central Michigan. It was a 5-point loss at home back on January 31st. And I look at a quote from first-year head coach J.C. Brooks that really stood out to me. She said that she thought they played pretty well, but the difference in the game was offensive rebounds and second-chance points, as well as their performance at the free throw line. And she said it hurts because we played well enough to win but didn't make the plays down the stretch. So I think a lot of it is right there, Rowan. The plays that they didn't make against Central Michigan, a team that's 4th in the Mid-American Conference currently, they're going to have to make today against Ball State to try and just even keep pace. So getting those second chance rebounds and points for them and limiting Ball State's opportunities to get second chance points are going to be huge, especially when you have a Ball State team that is so high powered on offense, coming off of a triple-digit performance against Kent State, which I'm sure we'll touch on throughout the broadcast. But for NIU, you got to limit mistakes, you got to capitalize your second chance opportunities, make the easy buckets, win at the free throw line, and just keep up.
Yeah, because that's the other thing too. We've seen it. We were talking about it earlier. We've seen it where, for the most part, they'll only have like a 7-player rotation with Ball State and all the depth that they have. How can they take advantage of that?
Well, I think it's just going to be a war of attrition throughout the game. I think that maybe it won't make much of an impact in the first quarter, but as this game goes on, when you have a Ball State team that is much deeper per se than NIU, whether you look at it in terms of health, in terms of just the overall talent on their team across the depth chart, it might show up in the third and fourth quarter where you have NIU players that have kind of gotten to a point where they're running on fumes, and Ball State, not only are they going to probably be able to mix more players in, but they're just simply such a fast-paced team as it is. So when you factor that on top of the fact that NIU is going to be running on a shorter rotation than Ball State, it's going to be tough for the Huskies to hang around in this one just physically and mentally. Going to be getting in a lot of cardio when you only have 7 players or something in that ballpark for a basketball game.
It'll be tough for NIU because of what Ball State's been doing lately too. Sure, they lost that game last week against Miami that would have had them as the #1 seed in the Mid-American Conference, would have kept them undefeated in conference play, but they've since bounced back with wins against Central Michigan and then a shellacking of Kent State. What has stood out to you about Ball State in these last couple of games?
Well, that Miami loss, it was ugly. It wasn't just a loss. It was a 20-point loss at home. It always hurts to lose. It always hurts to lose at home, especially when this Ball State program really has not lost a lot here in the last few years. So it was very interesting to see how they would respond, and it's been pretty good. They won a couple wins on the road. This is their first time back in Worthen Arena since that game against Miami. Beat Central on the road, and then that Kent State game, 100 points. That's already the 4th time this season that Ball State as a team has crossed triple digits. So I think it's really been encouraging to see Ball State not let an ugly loss distract from what's been other than that, a really good conference season. They know they'll see the Miami Redhawks again down the road in Oxford later this month, so they'll have a chance to get back at them, and I feel like even regardless, there's a good chance that those two could see each other again late in the MAC tournament.
Yeah, the potential matchup with Miami, I know they play each other in the regular season, but a lot of people have thought that a postseason matchup between the two, it might not be a matter of if, it might be a matter of when.
It certainly feels that way. And you look at Miami overall, what a time to be a Miami basketball fan. Both men's and women's, just phenomenal. I mean, we saw, the men's team being ranked, still being undefeated, the women's team undefeated in conference play, and the only MAC team that can say that. So they are just spectacular, and yeah, it feels like the writing's on the wall, right? I mean, two teams that have had good programs, two teams that obviously know each other well. That's another kind of rivalry that across all sports definitely gets some attention. Ball State, NIU, you had the bronze stock for football all those years. That's going to, unfortunately be ending with NIU leaving the MAC in football as well. But, you also hear a lot about the Redbird rivalry too with Ball State and Miami of Ohio. So that would be fun. Obviously a long way until that would possibly happen. You got to take it one day at a time, but certainly, hard not to potentially try and peek ahead a little bit at what a fun matchup that would be in the postseason.
Yeah, because it's all about bragging rights tonight in a way, because these two teams, this is the last time, more than likely, they'll play each other as conference foes. NIU, they have the bragging rights in football. They took home the bronze stalk for good. Men's basketball, they beat NIU last week. Let's see if women's basketball can really get the upper hand in that battle.
Yeah, they want to. And again, on paper, it looks like they should, because this is a Ball State team. They've consistently been good in the Mid-American Conference the last couple of years. They're towards the top again this year. When on the other hand, NIU is a team in transition, first-year head coach in J.C. Brooks, towards the bottom of the conference. And this is kind of an opportunity for NIU to see, okay, on the other side, that's the type of program we want to get to be. We want to be winning conference games. We want to be putting up 100 points in conference games. We want to be competing for a MAC tournament title year in and year out. They're going to get to see what that caliber of a team looks like here this evening.
Yeah, all about those learning experiences, especially next year entering a new conference. They'll be playing in the Horizon League. They played in the Horizon League from 1994 to 1997, but back then it was called the Midwestern Collegiate Conference. The more you know, so a bit of a homecoming on their side.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, it's been a long time, so it looks a little bit different, as you just mentioned. Yeah. But yeah, definitely a very interesting time for NIU athletics across the board with this transition.
Yeah, where were you in 1997?
About 7 years away from being born.
I think I'm about 8, so I'm right there with you. But we'll be back with more Ball State women's basketball moments away from tip-off against Northern Illinois. You're listening to Ball State women's basketball on SL Digital Radio, presented by Victory Honda of Muncie.
Victory Honda of Muncie. We're not just another car dealership, and here's why. We stand behind every car we sell and are dedicated to helping our customers save time and money. All our pre-owned cars undergo a rigorous 182-point inspection and come with a 90-day warranty to ensure that you're getting a Victory quality vehicle. Plus, you'll get 2 years of complimentary oil changes and tire rotations. We're part of a top 15 dealership group and have an enormous selection of vehicles with access to inventory at over 45 locations. You always get more for your trade and the best possible rates with us. We have an excellent relationship with hundreds of lenders. Our exclusive Car Doc maintenance and membership program will help you save hundreds of dollars in the process of maintaining your vehicle. Lastly, our state-of-the-art body shop and certified technicians perform high-quality repairs and paint work on most vehicle makes and models. Victory Honda of Muncie. We're not just another car dealership.
At Kroger, you never compromise. You get high quality and low prices. Like you never compromise your meal with our spring salad mix, guaranteed fresh. And you never compromise your budget with lower prices on over 1,000 items. And you never compromise your appetite with our golden brown bread that's baked fresh in store. And you never compromise your wallet with our lower prices. Hand it to Kroger shoppers. You never compromise. Kroger. Fresh for everyone.
Hey Cardinal fans, this is Connor Onion, play-by-play broadcaster with Fox Sports, and I'm a proud SportsLink alum. You're listening to Ball State Sports Live with SL Digital. Chirp, chirp.
Thank you, Connor. We're back from Worthen Arena. The Ball State Cardinals set to take on the Northern Illinois Huskies. This broadcast is produced by the students of Ball State SportsLink and presented by Victory Honda of Muncie. For your next new or pre-owned vehicle, drop by the showroom at the corner of McGalliard and Morrison Roads in Muncie, or you can just visit victorymuncie.com. Again, that is victorymuncie.com. Starting lineups for both teams being introduced at the moment. We start with Ball State. It's their usual five. You got Anis Tagai out there with Grace Kingery at the guard position, Carson Norman running the operation at point. Down low, Tessa Towers and Bree Salambine. No surprise, Brady Sali going with his usual group.
Yeah, and I think, when you look at Ball State's lineup, it's what you expect, and it's players that could attack you in a variety of ways. We saw Tessa Towers coming off a career-high performance, 29 points against Kent State the other day, so certainly we'll really be interested to see what she has for an encore, but then also you got players like Salenbein, like Kingery, two players that can really hurt you from beyond the arc with three-point shots, so watch out for them there.
And for NIU, you got Nadechko Lassine, who's been their leading scorer. She runs the point. Emily Sorensen, the freshman sensation, maybe a shoe-in for an All-MAC freshman team there. Down low, Marta Hermoso. Hermoso has fouled out of the last two matchups. Hopefully she's able to right that wrong here tonight. And then rounding out the starting lineup, you got Maria Serracanta and Nevaeh Wingate. That's the five for NIU, coached by J.C. Brooks, a first-year head coach, an assistant at Buffalo, the WNIT champions last season. In that WNIT championship, Buffalo took down Troy. Ball State takes on Troy this Saturday in the MAC Sun Belt Challenge.
It all ties together. I love it.
That's a very loose tie. I'm really reaching here, Ryan.
That's okay.
But this Ball State team just looking to continue the positive momentum after a big loss to Miami. It felt like a gut punch, but they come back with two huge wins, and they're looking for a third one here against NIU.
They are, and they're back at home for the first time since that disappointing loss, so certainly an opportunity to continue righting the ship. And again, they're 17-5 overall, 9-1 in the conference, so as disappointing as that loss was, I think that Ball State still understands that though that particular night wasn't up to their standard, they know what they're capable of, and they believe it's ultimately winning a conference championship here in a little over a month.
Yeah, the Ball State Cardinals looking to be the first team since Bowling Green in 2010 and 2011 to win back-to-back MAC tournament championships. It's a very small club. The Cardinals look to add their name to it.
And it's tough to do, not just because of the talent in this conference, but just the reality of when you have 8 teams make the tournament, that means, you got to win a lot of games. You gotta. It's not like you get into a championship game. It's even if you're the #1 seed, you have a great regular season. You still gotta win a few more games. It's not just like, okay, we get the regular season title and we're in the championship. No, it's you still have to play 3 quality games if you want to get to that postseason title, which of course gets you the automatic bid into the NCAA tournament.
The Huskies wearing their black uniforms today. They have a red cursive lettering on the front with a white outline. The Ball State Cardinals in their usual home white uniforms with the silver lettering, as it's Anis Tagai and Marta Hermoso to tip it off for Ball State and NIU respectively. The Cardinals going left to right, NIU right to left. Just moments away from tip here at Worthen Arena on a Wednesday night. Here we go, Tagai and Hermoso head-to-head for the tip-off. And we are underway. Ball State wins the tip. Carson Norman takes it up the floor. Goes to her right, a handoff to Grace Kingery. Ball State moving quickly early. A lob up inside for Tessa Towers, taken away by Hermoso. She intercepts.
Early win for NIU on defense. Anytime you allow Ball State to not come away with points on a possession, especially early, that's a win.
Serracanta controls at the point. The give on the right side to Hermoso. Lob up inside, Wingate. Kick out left side, Sorensen. 10 on the shot clock. Whips it over to the right side for Seracanta. Out on the far side, Lacine. She pushes in with 5 on the shot clock. She's at the free throw line. Spin move, throws up a shot, misses the rim and all short. Cardinals get it. Grace Kingery on the near side. She controls, takes a mid-range J, swirls out to Gai, the offensive rebound. Salenbine pulls the string and hits.
That's
3-0 Ball State.
Sorry there. That's just what we talked about in the open, though. It's allowing second chance opportunities to Guy, getting that rebound for Ball State, getting it out to Salenbine. Hurts NIU as they stopped the initial shot, but allowed Ball State a second chance. That's not going to be sustainable for them in this one.
We're a minute in. Ball State the early 3-0 lead. Sorensen underneath the basket, blocked from behind by Salenbine, but they call it a foul on the shot. So the freshman sensation, Emily Sorensen, to shoot 2 free throws for NIU with 8:46 to go in this first quarter.
And Sorensen, someone that we're going to talk about a lot for NIU, and for good reason, because especially as a freshman, having a role as big as she has right now, it's impressive, especially when you're on a team that is kind of in that rebuild stage.
On the left side of the basket, on the court, she hits the first free throw. Sorensen, an 82% free throw shooter, leading this NIU team from Waukee, Iowa. Goes 2 for 2. 3-2 Ball State with 8:46 to go in the first quarter. Carson Norman at the point. Cardinals move quickly on the perimeter. Tagai cuts inside. Lobs it up down low for Towers underneath the basket, and good as she flips it up.
That's where she shines.
5-2 Ball State. That's the reigning MAC Player of the Week right there. Tessa Towers, the first time she's been bestowed that honor. Wingate straight away for NIU. A handoff to Celine. Top of the key, Hermoso whips out far corner. Wingate, a three-point try, too long, doesn't even graze the rim, but in the near corner, it's Lacine who gets the offensive rebound. 5 on the shot clock, mid-range shot, she pulls up, catapults off the back iron, long rebound for Tagai. Ball State in transition, a 5-2 lead with 8 minutes to go in the first quarter. Carson Norman, the kick out on the left side to Tagai, cuts inside, looks for help, goes to Salenbine at the top of the key. Her three-point attempt is off the right side of the rim.
Cannot leave her that open, though, if you're NIU. You got to break there, but we saw Salenbine drain one earlier. Can't leave one of Ball State's best shooters from distance with that much space.
Wingate on the high block. Swings over to Seracanta. A three-pointer is cash. NIU ties it at 5 with 7:30 to go in the first quarter. Maria Seracanta, not known for her scoring, but gets it done there. Towers on the left side perimeter for Ball State. Now to Gai straight away. The give to Salenbine straight. Cross-court pass to Norman on the far corner. It's tipped out of bounds on the far side by Lacine. Stays with Ball State. 7:07 to go in the first quarter. 12 on the shot clock.
And you notice there, Rowan, they're keeping a little bit more of an eye on Bree Salenbine on that possession after seeing her get a couple good looks from a three. She did not have as much space that time.
Norman on the right side of the perimeter with 4 on the shot clock. Towers mid-range shot at the buzzer and hits. 7-5 Ball State. Tessa Towers has 4 points. Celine, lob up inside, low block to Wingate. She is harassed by a sea of Cardinal white. They call a foul on the floor against Ball State.
And as far as the Huskies on offense, their first 2 possessions, they didn't really look in rhythm. They weren't able to get too many good offensive looks, but we'll see what adjustments they make here. Maybe trying to get shots up earlier in the shot clock where they don't feel rushed and panicked, because that's what we saw in the last possession.
Lacine angles off to her right to Hermoso. NIU working the perimeter. Inside on the feed to Wingate. Back out. Now Wingate tries at the free throw line and hits the jumper. 7-7 our score, just a little under 6:30 to go in the first quarter. NIU playing close with Ball State early. Carson Norman, cross-court pass to Gai. Tries for Tessa Towers down low. Goes too long. Seracanta, the interception. Hermoso, a three-pointer on the left side, goes off the backboard and to Bree Salenbine of the Cardinals. Grace Kingery on the left arc. Slows it down, goes to Salenbein off to her right. A screen from Tessa Towers. Thinks about driving, but defers over to Tagai at the free throw line. Lob up inside for Towers, has it poked away by Sorensen.
Not easy to stop Tessa Towers in the paint. NIU standing tall here in the first 4+ minutes of this game, hanging around.
A little north of 5:30 to go in the first quarter, a 7-7 ball game. Hermoso straightaway three-point try, in and out. Wingate the offensive rebound. Salenbein wipes it off the glass as she misses the shot. Far corner Kingery, a three-pointer, drains it. 10-7 Ball State. Grace Kingery gets it done from distance.
And who did we talk about in the open as Ball State's best weapons from distance? Salenbein and Kingery. They both already have a 3-ball early in this one.
Yeah, a 39% three-point shooter Kingery is. She can do a lot of damage, especially from the corners. Nevaeh Wingate on the high block. The feed inside for Sarah Conta. NIU resets with Hermoso on the left arc. 7 on the shot clock. Looks for Sorensen inside. Tagai intercepts the bounce pass. Ball State in transition. Kingery on the right arc slows it down. A lob up inside for Salenbein. She looks for Towers on the pass. NIU takes away with Lacine. NIU moving slowly. Right to left they work. They trail 10-7 to Ball State. Hermoso on the high block for NIU. Sarah Conta left side. Huskies working the perimeter with 7 on the shot clock. Lacine lasers to her right to Sorensen. A spin move and a kick out to the far corner. Wingate nails the 3 at the horn. 10-10. Nevaeh Wingate ties it.
And credit to NIU there on that possession for staying composed as the shot clock was running down. A few possessions earlier on in this one, we saw them kind of panic as the shot clock was getting down in the single digits and not get a quality chance. There they drain a 3 just in the nick of time.
A foul on the floor against NIU. Bree Salenbein was underneath the basket looking for a pass her way. And with 3:54 to go in the first quarter, we are tied at 10. NIU giving Ball State a run for their money. We'll be right back. You're listening to Ball State Women's Basketball on SL Digital Radio, presented by Victory Honda of Muncie.
Today we have 2 very special guests on our program, introducing Lem and Lime.
Hello.
For Starry Lemon Lime Soda.
Thanks for having us.
What is Starry Lemon Lime Soda?
It's a crisp, clear burst of lemon lime flavor, and it's caffeine-free.
Between us, one of you must be a little more important to Starry than the other. Who is it?
We're both important.
So it could just as easily be Starry Lime Lemon Soda.
No, that doesn't sound right.
Oh, I like it.
So you saying hip-hop could be hop-hip?
Works for me.
Starry Lemon Lime Soda. Starry hits different.
Behind every strong hip and knee. Behind every strong shoulder.
Good catch.
Behind every strong team is our highly skilled team of experts in orthopedics. IU Health is the official healthcare and sports medicine provider of Ball State Athletics, and we're here to keep you moving. From acute injuries to chronic pain and conditions, go where the athletes go. Walk-in appointments for new injuries are available Monday through Friday from 7:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. And you can always schedule a same-day or next-day appointment and wait from the comfort of your home. Visit iuhealth.org/MuncieOrtho to learn more.
You're listening to SportsLink Digital, presented by Victory Honda of Muncie.
Your home for live Ball State sports.
3:54 to go in the first quarter. Ball State and Northern Illinois tied at 10. I'm Roen Elbert. That's Ryan Stojetz. So far, NIU really fighting with the Cardinals. This is a matchup, let's be quite honest, Ryan. Ball State is very much favored in. 9-1 in the MAC against NIU's 2-8 in MAC play. How have the Huskies been able to compete so well with Ball State?
Well, I think you look at something from their last matchup against Central Michigan, a matchup that was a loss for the Huskies, but one that saw the Huskies put up a season-high 70 points. And that might not sound like a lot, especially if you're a Ball State fan, because let's face it, 70 points for Ball State is just a regular day at the office, if anything, a little bit lower than you might expect. But that was a season high on offense the other day for NIU, and it means a lot for them to get to that mark, especially when overall they're averaging just over 55 points per game as a team on the season. So I think you just look at maybe some positive momentum from that game carrying over into this one. And I think you look at just even some of the adjustments that have happened in the first, 5-6 minutes of this one. I think you look at where we're at in terms of NIU obviously having the game be tied, but I think even offensively, you see them starting to get in a bit more of a rhythm, trusting themselves to create quality shot opportunities. We saw that last three-pointer occurred as the shot clock was expiring earlier on in the game. We saw NIU looking a little antsy. The shot clock was winding down, and they still really had no idea who was going to shoot or when, and they didn't really look in rhythm. And then even defensively, I think that we've seen NIU maybe guard the perimeter a little bit better when it comes to someone like Bree Sallenbein, and then also paying attention to Tessa Towers down there in the paint. Towers already has a few buckets this evening, but there's also been a few times where, to the Huskies' credit, they've stuffed her out down there in the paint and not allowed her to get those layups that she thrives on.
I think it's really a give and take thing with Tessa Towers. You're going to win some and you're going to lose some. That's just the way it is.
Yep.
3:54 to go in this first quarter. Ball State 10, NIU 10. Ball State to inbound on the left side of the basket, right side of the court. Bree Sallenbein straight away. The feed on the right side of Verboot. Back to Sallenbein. Puts up a floater off the back iron. Goes out of bounds on the baseline off of Ball State to NIU possession. A stoppage in play. And we continue on after the fact.
Yeah, I thought for a second maybe there'd be some sort of challenge or review, because I saw maybe Sallenbein for a second was pointing as if she maybe thought it should have been Ball State ball there, but not to be.
Saman Johnson takes a shot underneath the basket. She's fouled hard by Caballero of Ball State. So the first time we're calling the freshman Saman Johnson's name, she'll shoot 2 free throws in a 10-10 game.
Again, NIU as a team, something to note here. They get beat at the free throw line, usually shooting just 64.6% as a team. Opponents shooting just over 70% against them.
Johnson's able to hit the first. That's a big difference, especially when NIU, they've been losing close games like against Central Michigan, a 5-point loss. Johnson goes 1 for 2. She misses the second. Ball State moves quick. They trail 11-10, 3:28 to go in the first quarter. Carson Norman hands off to her right to Bree Sallenbein. In a jam, cross-court pass to the far corner. Verboot's able to handle. Carves her way inside the paint. Hand off to Caballero underneath the basket. Up and good on the shot. Alba Caballero makes it 12-11 Ball State.
That's what is the bread and butter of Ball State's offense. How many passes on that possession? I mean, I honestly lost count, but you get the point. It's just fast, quick, in sync, trusting your teammates.
Sarah Conta on the left wing. Moves to her left, hands off to Lacine. Motors her way into the paint, puts up a jumper from the MAC logo. It's short. Carson Norman the other way for Ball State, left to right. South of 3 minutes to go in the first quarter. 12-11 Cardinals. Kingery, a left wing 3 off the right side. Sallenbein, the offensive rebound, saves it from going out of bounds on the baseline, but throws it right to Johnson of NIU. Lacine drives baseline on the near end for NIU. And a jam ends up traveling. She tried to pass out on the baseline, but got caught with the extra step.
Yeah, you can tell just a little bit of an awkward motion there. And again, those are the type of mistakes that to this point NIU has avoided, but every possession is so paramount, especially when right now, okay, it's a 1-point game. Like, you've got Ball State right where you want them. If you're the Huskies, you're just trying to keep this close as long as possible, and then hopefully if you do that long enough, pull ahead in the second half.
Anis Tagayi checks back in for Ball State. Nevaeh Wingate checks in for NIU. 12-11 Cardinals. Just a little over 2 minutes to go in the first quarter. Kingery thought about it, top of the key 3. She defers off to her left to Norman. Cycles Verboot, top of the key. Spin move into the paint. Up and over, misses the shot wide right. Caballero fights on the floor underneath the basket for the offensive rebound. They call a jump ball. Possession arrow is pointed towards Ball State.
That was just a great spin move earlier in the play by Verboot just to get that shot off.
Norman the inbound on the left side of the basket. Kingery, a left wing 3, drains it. 15-11 Cardinals. Kingery's second 3. Sarah Conta takes it up for NIU. They trail by 4. Under 2 minutes to go in the first quarter. Sorensen on the high block, a screen from Wingate underneath the basket, takes the shot off glass and good for Emily Sorensen of NIU. 15-13 Cardinals. A little over 1:30 to go in the first quarter. Verboot at the top of the key. Defers to her right to Kingery. Whips over to Tagai on the left wing. Feed inside to Caballero underneath the basket. Tries a shot, misses short. Kingery, the offensive rebound, puts it up and good. Another 2 points for Grace Kingery, 17-13.
And another second chance opportunity converted by the Ball State Cardinals on offense.
And how often do you see Grace Kingery playing down low? Not every day. Simone Johnson on a hop underneath the basket to Wingate. She's stuffed by Caballero. They call it jump ball, though, on the play. The possession arrow is in NIU's favor. And Ball State makes a change with Tessa Towers coming into the matchup. Under 1 minute to go in the first quarter. Hermoso on the left wing for NIU. Goes off to her right to Sorensen. Left side of the arc, Sorensen thought about a three, pushes inside the free throw line, the kick out, Sarah Conta a three, catapults off the left side of the rim. 40 seconds and counting in the first quarter left as Ball State controls on the right end of the court. Grace Kingery in the double team far corner, goes inside for Tagai, Hermoso intercepts. About a half-second separating shot and game clock. With about 25 to go, NIU has possession on the left end of the court. Sarah Conta between the rings, slows it down for the Huskies. Guarded closely by Norman. Hermoso at the top of the key. A handoff to Wingate on the high block. 8 on the shot clock. A cutting Sorensen has it poked away by Kingery underneath the basket. 3 on the game clock. Near corner, Verboot at the buzzer, didn't get it off in time. And Ball State leaves the first quarter with a 17-13 lead over NIU.
They do, and I think you give NIU credit for hanging around, although maybe in the last few minutes you saw Ball State, maybe not on the scoreboard, but even just like for you and me just observing, it's maybe you start to see a little bit of separation in terms of how the teams are playing, but really, that doesn't matter. What matters is it's a 4-point game. NIU, I think they would have loved to maybe get something on that last possession to make it a one-possession game heading into the second quarter, but still, the Huskies knew what they were up against coming into this one, hanging around. They made some good defensive adjustments, but it's Ball State on top after 10 minutes.
Cardinals on a 7-3 run out of that last timeout. We're going to take a quick break going into the second quarter. Ball State leads 17-13. You're listening to SL Digital Radio, presented by Victory Honda of Muncie.
Looking for flawless awards, trophies, plaques, medals, or engraved keepsakes right here in Muncie? Head to Awards Plus, your hometown expert for over 25 years. Located at 301 West Main Street, they're the area's leading trophy shop, serving the Muncie and surrounding area. Awards Plus delivers top quality with attention to detail and fast, reliable service. Open Monday through Friday, 9 to 4. Stop by or call 765-282-3511. Awards Plus, where the achievements take center stage. A proud partner of Ball State Athletics.
Sometimes it's not the moment. It's the moment before the moment. The moment you make a choice. The moment you take control. The moment only you can own. Gainbridge lets you invest on your terms. So you're not only in charge of this moment, but all the moments to come. Start investing now.
From trivia night at Brothers and tater tots at Roots.
Never miss a Ball State game with SportsLink Digital.
For the best stories in Ball State sports, our latest videos, and SportsLink program information, you can find this at ballstatesportslink.com. Again, ballstatesportslink.com. It's 17-13 Cardinals over NIU to open this second quarter of play. Also today, across the country, National Girls and Women's in Sports Day. That's a big focal point of today's matchup, celebrating it here at Worthen Arena. We had the gymnastics team come out, but it's more than just who's on the court. It's personnel, it's coaching. There's a lot more to it than just the players on the floor.
Absolutely, it's a great point. So many, wonderful people to celebrate today, and it's, again, we talked about it in the open, but really cool for a Ball State women's basketball team, especially one that's playing as well as they are this season, to get a game at home on a day where we recognize female athletes and female personnel, coaches, as you said, people involved in sports in any way, in so many ways, not even, necessarily in ways that are visible to us right now. Just there's so much that goes on behind the scenes. So certainly a great occasion, and it's always important to recognize that, and cool it gets to be recognized at home in Worthen Arena this evening.
Yeah, and no personal bias from both of us, but also that applies to people in sports media as well.
Oh, absolutely. For sure. We know that better than a lot of people, just the ins and outs of whether it's, broadcasting, production, storytelling, so much goes into it. We've been fortunate to be a part of a lot of that, too, with SportsLink, kind of seeing what truly goes into the sports media world.
And let's see what these Cardinals and Huskies can do in the second quarter. 17-13 Ball State. They controlled on the right side of the floor. Ball State in white, NIU in black. Kingery, a left wing three, pulls the string and delivers. 20-13, Kingery, her third three.
And she loves that left wing. That's her spot.
Maria Saracanta takes it up right to left for NIU. Georgia Guarini checks in for the first time for Ball State, guards her closely. Defers on the far side, Sorensen. Lob up inside, Wingate on the low block. Half of the shot clock down. Lacine on the left arc. Lasers over top of the key, Saracanta. A chest pass back to Lacine. Takes the three and hits it. 20-16 now as Nadechka Lacine hit that three.
And I don't know how sustainable it's going to be, but it seems like NIU's getting better looks from three rather than trying to force the ball down low.
Towers on the perimeter on an island. She hands off to Georgia Guarini on the left arc. Guarded closely by Lacine, guarding her like a blanket. Bounce past the Towers underneath the basket. Kick out Kingery, a three, and delivers again. 23-16, Kingery, her fourth three. So far today for Ball State, it's been the Grace Kingery show. 14 points now. Nevaeh Wingate straight away. Gives to Lacine on the right side of the arc. At the free throw line, a cutting Saracanta juggles the pass on the bounce, goes out of bounds off of Ball State on the baseline. NIU does make a change. Simone Johnson comes in for Maria Saracanta. With 8:27 to go in the second quarter, Ball State, they open this second quarter with back-to-back three-pointers. And now both teams going to their respective benches, maybe having a look at the previous play, potentially who it went out of bounds off of on the baseline. Who knows?
Yeah, that would be my guess. It was somewhat of an awkward pass, the bounce pass with both of the players moving near the baseline. Who did it go also off of? Who touched it last? I think that's probably what they're looking at here, unless there's something else that we missed earlier in the play.
Well, in the meantime, let's talk about both coaches, Ryan. I don't think we could see any more polar opposites than we have with Brady Saleh of Ball State and J.C. Brooks of NIU. We have a first-year head coach in Brooks looking to prove a lot with this NIU program in her first year before going to the Horizon League next year. And then you got Brady Saleh. He's been there, done that. He's been here since May of 2012, has a MAC championship on the mantle. He's done a lot. And J.C. Brooks just trying to do all she can.
Yeah, the contrast is there. And you look at what Brady Saleh has done. I mean, not even just in his coaching career at Ball State, 8 very successful seasons at Eastern Illinois before that as the head coach. During his time at Ball State, the accolades, the trophy case is pretty full. All the players he's coached players that have gone on to do so many great things, whether, a lot of players playing internationally. You even look at that core 4 group that just graduated last year. But I think when you talk about Coach Saleh, it really goes back to developing a culture, developing a situation where you can lose a lot of talent after a season, like the Cardinals did last year after winning the MAC tournament championship. Have a lot of new faces come in, but then still have the expectations and the standards be the same and have those be being met. It's really remarkable. It's not easy to do.
Yeah. Speaking of National Girls and Women's in Sports Day, for Ball State, Brady Saleh's had a lot of success, but you can credit a lot of that to assistant coach Audrey Spencer.
Absolutely. Another coach, a lot of experience, certainly someone that's really played a role in developing a lot of the talent, someone that certainly, deserves a lot of the credit too for getting this Cardinals program, again, as we talked about, to a point where even if it's not the same players year in and year out, the standards, the expectations, the culture of winning, that just has become synonymous with this Ball State women's basketball program. And it's hard to do that. We talked about it a lot earlier. NIU is kind of seeing the type of program that they want to become, a program that has that culture of winning, that is competing for conference championships, that is good year in and year out, even with the now more than ever high presence of the transfer portal and players coming in and out of your program.
I think the officials have made a decision, but the first timeout of any quarter will automatically be a media timeout, so I think they're just letting that play out. We saw the officials talking to Mick Tidrow and Hadassah Harris over on that front bench over there, so I think a ruling has been made. We think it was out of bounds. It's really an out of bounds call. It's hard to tell though, because we don't have review, and in the moment, who knows what to think.
True, yeah, you never know. You think it could be one thing, but then maybe it was something 10 seconds earlier in the play. But yeah, I think it would be down on the baseline here, near side closest to us. Who was that ball out on? Hopefully not too much longer till we find out.
Yeah, probably as soon as we come out of this media timeout, where Ball State leads 23-16. How about Grace Kingery? 14 points, 4 for 5 from 3. She has been a menace today for the Cardinals.
She has, and those first few came from, that left wing side, but then this most recent one came towards the right side. So she's someone that's been everywhere. And Kingery, in terms of percentage, she's the best three-point shooter on this team, shooting at a 39.5% rate from beyond the arc this season. And someone that's doing that as only a sophomore, and also as one of the 4 returners from last year's MAC championship winning squad.
The Cardinals back out on the floor. It goes in their direction. They originally called it in the Huskies' favor, but they overturn it over the Ball State now. So Georgia Guarini takes it up for the Cardinals left to right, and a 23-16 Ball State lead. Guarini rifles cross-court to Towers. Salabine controls on the left wing off the handoff. Pick and roll Towers. The pass has too much mustard on it. Goes off of her hands and out of bounds on the baseline. NIU basketball. Nadechka Lacine takes it up for NIU right to left. On a hop to Wingate on the high block. Hermoso controls straight away. Sorensen, a left wing 3. Off the back iron, Towers the board. Under 8 minutes to go in the second quarter, 23-16 Ball State. Another long pass inside, that time intended for Salembine from Verboot. Out of bounds on the baseline once more to NIU.
A little bit of a different looking offensive possession there for Ball State, where you had Salembine cutting down low and Towers staying out by the arc.
Yeah, it's something that you don't really see as often as NIU takes it up. It's Saman Johnson, the freshman, who controls it. Back out Wingate. NIU sharing the love on the perimeter with half of the shot clock down. Wingate thought about a right wing 3. She motors her way into the paint. A spin move. Her shot is offline to the right. Doesn't even graze the rim.
The looks have just not been there down low in this first quarter and change.
Cardinals clogging the paint. Zen Verboot straight away for the Cardinals. Ball State with some love on the perimeter of their own. Kingery, a handoff to Salembine, right wing. Towers, a free throw line jumper, swirls in and out. Was seen on the push for NIU across court. Nevaeh Wingate. She swings it over to Hermoso on the high block. NIU moves slowly. Saman Johnson tries a free throw line jumper, and she's able to get it to fall. 23-18 now, Ball State. Just a little over 6:30 to go in the second quarter. Kingery, another three-point try. Yes! Wow, 26-18. Kingery has 17 points already.
She had 22 points last time out against Kent State. Well on pace to pass that mark, potentially even in this half.
Sorensen on the high block, in and out as she misses. Georgia Guarini the other way for the Cardinals. An 8-point Ball State advantage. Salenbine underneath the basket. Her shot goes in and out. NIU the other way. Nadechko Lassine, the transfer from St. Bonaventure, a graduate student. Graduated from St. Bonaventure with a degree in criminology. The feed inside is intercepted by Grace Kingery and taken away by Salenbine. Verboot on the right side of the basket misses the layup. Strong Towers offensive rebound, flips it up and good. 28-18 Ball State.
And what a rebound by Towers, creating that second chance opportunity for herself. Not a lot of players at the MAC level that would be able to pull down a board with that effectiveness and put it back up with ease.
Timeout called by the Huskies, a 10-point Cardinal lead. We'll be right back. You're listening to Ball State Women's Basketball on SL Digital Radio, presented by Victory Honda of Muncie.
Behind every strong hip and knee. Behind every strong shoulder.
Good catch.
Behind every strong team is our highly skilled team of experts in orthopedics. IU Health is the official healthcare and sports medicine provider of Ball State Athletics, and we're here to keep you moving. From acute injuries to chronic pain and conditions, go where the athletes go. Walk-in appointments for new injuries are available Monday through Friday from 7:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. And you can always schedule a same-day or next-day appointment and wait from the comfort of your home. Visit iuhealth.org/MuncieOrtho to learn more.
We are back from Worthen Arena. Ball State and NIU going head-to-head. Huskies out of the timeout. They trail 28-18. The Ball State. Kingery intercepts the pass at the Cardinal head. Defers underneath the basket to Tagai. She's fouled in the process on the shot, so Anise Tagai with a trip to the charity stripe.
Ball State, they're going to shoot their first free throws of the game at this point, and that's, I think, something you got to give credit to NIU for staying disciplined, not fouling.
So Anise Tagai at the free throw line, the freshman from France. Worthen goes quiet and misses the first free throw. But for Anise Tagai, what she's done for this Cardinals team, especially defensively, if you look at the last two games, she has either a block or a steal.
She leads the team in steals with 33 this season, second on the team in blocks. So her defense is for a Ball State team that gets talked about a lot offensively, and for good reason. Important to highlight some players that make a lot of plays on the other side of the ball as well.
Man, NIU can't catch a break. A lane violation as Tagai missed the second free throw. The third free throw she's able to get. There really shouldn't have been a third free throw, but NIU controls. Ball State goes to that full court press that's worked so well this season. Sarah Conta on the left wing for NIU. The feed inside for Wingate. Goes into a sea of Cardinal white. Takes the shot and fouled by Verboot. Looks like Nevaeh Wingate will shoot 2 free throws for the Huskies.
You really got to hit both of these if you're NIU, because you just look at this quarter, Ball State outscoring the Huskies at the moment 12-5, and you can feel them starting to potentially pull away.
Wingate's able to hit the first. Nevaeh Wingate, a junior, her first year with NIU. She was at St. John's the previous 2 years. A former McDonald's All-American. She's able to go 2 for 2. Marta Hermoso, she checks in for Nevaeh Wingate after the fact. It's 29-20, Ball State's advantage, with 5 minutes and some change left in the first half. Carson Norman between the rings on a hop to Tessa Towers, left side of the perimeter. Kingery on a handoff, pick and roll Towers underneath the basket, misses the shot short, but she's fouled on the way down. The question is, will it be on the floor or will it be a shot with Towers taking it? And it looks like Tessa Towers will shoot 2 free throws.
And how about Tessa Towers grabbing that ball, sticking one hand out there to get that ball, even though the shot didn't fall, still allowing the play to continue and therefore earn herself a trip to the free throw line.
She's able to get the first one to fall. Towers, a 66% free throw shooter, the reigning MAC player of the week. They call her Ice-T for a reason, as she goes 2 for 2. And Ice-T, that nickname, it's spread all across campus.
And for good reason. I mean, she's playing really well, and she's getting well-deserved recognition for it.
NIU's able to beat the press. They get it across half court with Simon Johnson. Left side, Lacine on an island. Pushes inside, the kick out straight away. Johnson a three. It's short, gets the offensive rebound, goes strong to the glass, and a foul called on the shot. Goes against Verboot. Looks like we'll get 2 free throws from Simon Johnson. What a second effort that time.
Absolutely, and again, even though there hasn't been a lot of success down low for NIU, the last couple possessions, drawing fouls, forcing Ball State's defense to get physical, that's a sign of improvement for him.
Here we go, Simon Johnson to shoot 2, a 31-20 Ball State lead. She's able to get the first one to fall. It's really been all Cardinals in this second quarter. As of right now, Ball State outscoring them in this quarter 14-8. Johnson misses the second one. 31-21 Cardinals, 4:30 to go in the first half. It's Carson Norman on the left side of the perimeter. Tessa Towers on the right side. She hands off to Verboot. Lasers over to Tagai. Now it's Norman off of a handoff. 10 on the shot clock. The lob for Towers at the free throw line. The give to Kingery, left wing. Pulls up from 3. Drano! Grace Kingery, 20 points. 34-21 Ball State.
And the crazy thing is they're not even giving her that much space, but she doesn't need it. My goodness, what a half even for Grace Kingery, and she might not even be done this half.
20 points in the first half, and yeah, we still have time left. Plenty of time at bat.
She's almost beating NIU by herself. Not quite, though.
Lacine, a left wing 3. She tries to counter, misses the long rebound from Verboot. Zen Verboot moves quickly across for Ball State. Tagai, the kick out to Norman as she drove in. Tessa Towers at the top of the key, rifles over Norman. A screen from Towers in the process. Goes up and under with the shot. Norman's able to get it to fall. 36-21 Cardinals.
That was a really unique shot from Norman, getting her first points of the game. I don't know if it was quite underhand, but definitely wasn't a traditional angle, banking that off the board there.
Marta Hermoso goes over to Mememba for NIU. A handoff Johnson. A mid-range jumper swirls out. Norman has her pass intercepted, but Tagai gets it right back and draws the foul on the near sideline. They call that against Simon Johnson.
And that's a great play by Tagai there, because she sees that unfold in front of her and she knows, hey, we're both going for the ball. I'm probably going to get contacted no matter what, but you know what? I think it'll hurt a little bit less if I just hold on to the basketball and draw a foul for my team.
36-21 Cardinals. It's been all Ball State. They've made 3 of their last 3 field goal attempts. Under 3 minutes to go in the first half. Carson Norman is fouled on her way to the rim. So now NIU playing physical basketball, but the question is, Ryan, is it desperate basketball they're playing?
I mean, it might be getting to that point, Rowan, just looking at where the score is, looking at how this second quarter has been much more lopsided than the first, and it's something that NIU wasn't really doing for the first portion of this game. They were staying disciplined. We mentioned, Ball State shot their first free throws only just a few minutes ago, but now they're starting to pile up the fouls on the Huskies, and it's showing on the scoreboard.
A timeout called on the floor. It looks like we have potentially another review. We still don't know exactly what's going on. The officials talking to the scorers table, both teams convening on their own side. This is interesting. With a 36-21 Ball State lead, it was a foul on the floor. If the officials are looking at something, what do you think that could be?
I'm not sure. Again, I saw, the play they called the foul. Maybe they're looking at, did something happen earlier in the play, or maybe something that occurred at the same time but in a separate place. I wasn't really sure, and looks like the Ball State players at least are coming back on the court. Not sure what that was, to be completely honest with you.
Yep, nothing changes. Cardinals have possession after the foul on the floor against the Huskies. Carson Norman on the left side of the basket. She looks, finds Grace Kingery near corner, defers to Caballero, tries a jumper and delivers it. Alba Caballero from the free throw line, 38-21 Ball State. Something you don't see every day. Alba taking those shots. Straight away, Teresa Mamemba rifles over to her left. Lacine, the deferral over to Sorensen. Cars her way to the cup and a handoff to Serracanta. A handoff Sorensen, a three-point attempt on the left side, misses. Carson Norman moves quickly for Ball State. Tries to go coast to coast, a floater from the MAC logo swirls in. 40-21 Ball State. It has been all Cardinals in this second quarter. Complete domination. Out of bounds against Ball State on that far side. It stays with NIU. Huskies bring in Saman Johnson for Nadechka Lacine. And Zuri Ransom and Ashlyn Brook check in for the first time today for Ball State.
And again, that just goes to show, no, both teams are making substitutions, but Ball State making them more and being able to make more substitutions and still feel like they have 5 really strong players out on the floor. They're just such a deep team, and I think that's starting to catch up to NIU.
At the top of the key, Mamemba for the Huskies. Now it's Serracanta straight away. She has to swing it to the far side for Sorensen. NIU working the perimeter. No daylight for them. Sorensen tries a three. Goes in and out. Salenbein underneath the basket and hails it. Cardinals in transition. A cross-court pass for Zuri Ransom. Carson Norman at the top of the key. She centers it and gives the Brook off to her left. Swings out straight away, Ransom. Now Norman once more on the right side. Ball State spreading the love on the perimeter with Ashlyn Brook at the top of the key. Salenbein to a cutting Ransom, up and under, good. 42-21 Ball State. She was cutting left to right and got it done.
What a well-designed offensive possession. Ransom had so much space there. He almost had to do a double take. Like, did that just happen?
Zuri Ransom, the last matchup, only played 8 minutes, but getting her time early. Sorensen, a three-point attempt off the back iron. Carson Norman, the long rebound for Ball State. Under 1 minute to go in the first half, 42-21 Cardinals. Salenbein, strong take, misses it short, but a foul called on the shot.
And when you look at the Huskies this quarter, it's just kind of fallen apart for them. I mean, even their few offensive possessions, they've had some decent, at least, three-point looks that they just haven't converted on, and now it seems like they're starting to get a little bit, desperate is the word you used earlier. I think that's a good one, just making a lot more fouls, already up to 5 this quarter.
And Bree Salenbein misses the first free throw. 42-21 Cardinals. Ryan, here's the big story for me. The Cardinals have used 10 players, NIU only 7.
And that's going to catch up to them. It already has now, but especially once we get into a whole nother half, and, a lot of these Ball State players are going to be more rested. They've been in and out more. It's just, and you can't blame NIU. I mean, it's just natural. It's going to tire you out more, but it is a storyline that was very real and something that we talked about earlier on in the broadcast for good reason.
Yes, Salenbein hit that second free throw. It's 43-21 Ball State, under 20 seconds to go on the game clock. Mamemba underneath the basket. She's harassed by a sea of Cardinal white. Ashlyn Brook pokes it away. Under 10 to go on the game clock. Brook looks to go coast to coast. Strong take, no foul called on the shot. Ransom with 1 on the game clock, puts it up, misses it, had it blocked away, it looked like by Serracanta, and that ends the first half. Ball State 43, NIU 21, a 12-0 run for the Cardinals, including a 14-1 run as well. Man, it's been all Ball State.
It has. The first quarter, NIU hung around, you could say. Cannot say the same for the second quarter. 26-8, the Cardinals outscore the Huskies in the second frame, and I think just, we talked about the depth of Ball State, but also just the overall talent. I think that discrepancy just really showed itself in the second 10 minutes.
We're going to take a quick break as we head into our halftime coverage. Ball State a 43-21 lead over NIU on National Girls and Women in Sports Day. You're listening to SL Digital Radio, presented by Victory Honda of Muncie.
Victory Honda of Muncie. We're not just another car dealership, and here's why. We stand behind every car we sell and are dedicated to helping our customers save time and money. All our pre-owned cars undergo a rigorous 182-point inspection and come with a 90-day warranty to ensure that you're getting a Victory quality vehicle. Plus, you'll get 2 years of complimentary oil changes and tire rotations. We're part of a top 15 dealership group and have an enormous selection of vehicles with access to inventory at over 45 locations. You always get more for your trade and the best possible rates with us. We have an excellent relationship with hundreds of lenders. Our exclusive Car Doc maintenance and membership program will help you save hundreds of dollars in the process of maintaining your vehicle. Lastly, our state-of-the-art body shop and certified technicians perform high-quality repairs and paint work on most vehicle makes and models. Victory Honda of Muncie. We're not just another car dealership.
At Kroger, you never compromise. You get high quality and low prices. Like you never compromise your meal with our spring salad mix, guaranteed fresh. And you never compromise your budget with lower prices on over 1,000 items. And you never compromise your appetite with our golden brown bread that's baked fresh in store. And you never compromise your wallet with our lower prices. Hand it to Kroger shoppers. You never compromise. Kroger. Fresh for everyone.
Hey Cardinal fans, show your pride wherever you go with the Ball State Financial Debit Card, now featuring your favorite mascot, Charlie Cardinal. It's the perfect card for students, alumni, and lifelong fans, letting you show your Cardinal spirit with every purchase you make. And with Ball State Financial, you'll get all the convenience, security, and hometown service you deserve from people who love this community as much as you do. Explore the card in your hometown credit union at fcfcu.com/chirp. Ball State Financial, your hometown credit union.
Today we have two very special guests on our program, introducing Lem and Lime.
Hello.
For Starry Lemon Lime Soda.
Thanks for having us.
What is Starry Lemon Lime Soda?
It's a crisp, clear burst of lemon lime flavor, and it's caffeine-free.
Between us, one of you must be a little more important to Starry than the other. Who is it?
We're both important.
So it could just as easily be Starry Lime Lemon Soda.
No, that doesn't sound right.
Oh, I like it.
So you saying hip-hop could be hop-hip?
Works for me.
Starry Lemon Lime Soda. Starry hits different.
Behind every strong hip and knee. Behind every strong shoulder.
Good catch.
Behind every strong team is our highly skilled team of experts in orthopedics. IU Health is the official healthcare and sports medicine provider of Ball State Athletics, and we're here to keep you moving. From acute injuries to chronic pain and conditions, go where the athletes go. Walk-in appointments for new injuries are available Monday through Friday from 7:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. And you can always schedule a same-day or next-day appointment and wait from the comfort of your home. Visit iuhealth.org/MuncieOrtho to learn more.
Looking for flawless awards, trophies, plaques, medals, or engraved keepsakes right here in Muncie? Head to Awards Plus, your hometown expert for over 25 years. Located at 301 West Main Street, they're the area's leading trophy shop, serving the Muncie and surrounding area. Awards Plus delivers top quality with attention to detail and fast, reliable service. Open Monday through Friday, 9 to 4. Stop by or call 765-282-3511. Awards Plus, where the achievements take center stage. A proud partner of Ball State Athletics.
Sometimes it's not the moment. It's the moment before the moment. The moment you make a choice. The moment you take control. The moment only you can own. Gainbridge lets you invest on your terms. So you're not only in charge of this moment, but all the moments to come. Start investing now.
Ranked #1 in the nation by the Broadcast Education Association. This is Ball State Sports Link with Sports Link Digital Radio. We return with second half action. We're about 10 minutes away from it. Ball State leads 43-21 over NIU. But for the best stories in Ball State sports, our latest videos, and SportsLink program information, you can find this at ballstatesportslink.com. Again, ballstatesportslink.com. I'm Roen Elbert. That's Ryan Stojetz. We were greeted during halftime by the other teams on campus for Ball State women's sports that were out here. We saw soccer, swim and dive, softball, volleyball. I can go on and on. Track and field. They were all out there in unison.
And that's just a really cool moment, you know, for those athletes to get recognition on a day where we're celebrating female athletes on this campus and across the country. It's really cool for them to have that opportunity, and for Ball State putting that together to give them a moment like that. You know, they appreciate it.
How about this? Will Basilio was out there on the floor for Ball State, a men's volleyball player who's been great for the Cardinals this year. He was taking a half-court shot. He missed it just barely. But if you want to hear more about men's volleyball, how about tomorrow night right here on SL Digital Radio presented by Victory Honda of Muncie? It's Ball State and Queens, the MIVA opener for Ball State.
Yeah, really fun stretch here at Worthen Arena. We got tonight, then we got a couple of volleyball matches, and then we got the women's basketball team back again for the MAC Sunbelt Challenge against Troy, which should be a really, really good game. So lots of fun happening on campus and here at Worthen Arena.
But let's talk about that first half a little bit. I think the big story here in a 43-21 Ball State lead is that Grace Kingery has 20 of those points for Ball State. Mind you, her career high was last season against Northern Kentucky as a freshman. She had 23 points. She's 3 away from tying that mark already. It's crazy to think what she's done today.
Yeah, and I think a lot of it is we touched on early in the broadcast how Ball State's on a typical day, biggest threats from three-point range, it would be Bree Salenbine or it would be Grace Kingery. And we saw Salenbine hit one earlier, and then we saw maybe NIU kind of focus in on stopping Salenbine. And I think maybe by doing that, that gave even more room for Kingery to thrive. And I mean, she's already got 6 3-pointers. That's insane. I mean, I think I said this once earlier, but she is nearly beating NIU by herself. She has 20. The Huskies have 21. That is insane. You know, you don't want to jinx it, but it looks like there may be a potential new career high coming in the second half. I mean, we'll see. We'll see. It also depends on, you know, if the Cardinals continue to pull away, how will they handle playing time with a lot of their key players. We'll see. But my goodness, what a performance by number 25 for Ball State.
You know, we're always like, we don't want to jinx it, but then we say it and we jinx it anyway.
Yeah, that's true. That's kind of, you know, that's kind of a very, very stereotypical thing to do for a broadcaster.
Oh,
okay, yeah. if she doesn't get 4 more, you can blame me. How about that?
Yeah, you can file all of your complaints to Ryan Stojetz.
Yep.
Should I give out the phone number? Probably no.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
That'll be a little too far. But over on Ball State's side, we've obviously talked about Grace Kingery in great detail, but the fact that she's almost outscoring NIU on her own is crazy. For the Huskies, what went wrong in that second quarter? They were only down by 6 after the first. What went wrong in that second?
They got less disciplined. They got more desperate. They started fouling a lot more, and that, I think, just piled up on them. They weren't able to get a lot of open looks, and when they did get open looks, many of which came from 3 or at least long 2 range, they just weren't able to capitalize. And it was just, you know, one possession where they missed the opportunity on offense. Then when Ball State attacks, they commit a foul, and it was just one thing after another. And it was a big contrast to that first quarter, what it felt like, at least for most of it, in the first quarter, NIU was going blow for blow, punch for punch with Ball State. But then again, I think as we talked about during that second quarter, the depth and the talent of Ball State that is just, let's face it, superior to that of NIU, that discrepancy just became too evident in the second frame.
It's heavily apparent right now that NIU's shorthanded. That's something we knew going into this matchup. They've played only 7 players, which it's kind of around the range where we've seen them against Central Michigan. They had 9 players, but it was really only a 7-player rotation. For Ball State, they've had 10 players check into the matchup. It goes to show you the depth that these Cardinals have.
And it's not just having the players, it's having players that you can put out there. You can give other players a rest, but you can still believe in them. You can still understand that, you know, players that maybe have been in this program, like someone like, say, Zuri Ransom, who we saw get in, or Georgia Garini, who we saw get in. You know, players who, you know, you have Ransom, who was on the team last year, didn't have a huge role, maybe seeing a little bit of a role. increase this season, but someone that's been here, knows what this program is like. And then Guarini, someone that appears in just about every game for the Cardinals, not usually as a starter, but someone that still, even though it's maybe not the marquee names, players that that Coach Sally trusts and knows that he knows that they know the system, and that he has confidence in them to continue to toe the line and keep this game right where it is, and that's with Ball State on top by a bunch.
So for NIU to try and mount a comeback, I know easier said than done, and for Ball State to hang on, what will be the keys to the second half for both teams?
Well, I think for Ball State, you try to replicate the second quarter. You try to just beat NIU in all areas of the court, take away the high percentage shots down low on defense, and just make NIU beat you with threes. If NIU goes on a crazy run and hits 20 threes in a row in the third quarter to get them back in the game, let them do that. And that's how they can beat you. Just take away those easy shots, keep NIU on their toes offensively. And for the Huskies, the scoreboard, it seems like it's going to be insurmountable, but I'm sure we've seen crazier things. They just got to take it one at a time. Focus on those small wins. You get a stop defensively, okay, that's a win. Now on offense, just get something, even if it's just earning a trip to the free throw line, drawing a foul, something we saw the Huskies do a few times in that second quarter in close proximity to each other. So for the Huskies, you're not going to overcome a 22-point deficit in one possession or 1 minute or even probably one quarter. Realistically, it's going to take a huge stretch of things to go right over the next 20 minutes of play. So just try and go, win each little possession and just slowly try and claw your way back. Maybe try and go on a 10-5 run, then an 8-3 run, and just see what you can do. And if you can make it any semblance of a game in the fourth quarter, you'll surprise Ball State in some sense, if we're being honest, and then just go from there.
We're going to take a quick breather before we get into second half action between the Ball State Cardinals and Northern Illinois Huskies. You're listening to SL Digital Radio, presented by Victory Honda of Muncie.
At Kroger, you never compromise. You get high quality and low prices. Like you never compromise your meal with our spring salad mix, guaranteed fresh. And you never compromise your budget with lower prices on over 1,000 items. And you never compromise your appetite with our golden brown bread that's baked fresh in store. And you never compromise your wallet with our lower prices. Hand it to Kroger shoppers. You never compromise. Kroger. Fresh for everyone.
Hey Cardinal fans, show your pride wherever you go with the Ball State Financial Debit Card, now featuring your favorite mascot, Charlie Cardinal. It's the perfect card for students, alumni, and lifelong fans, letting you show your Cardinal spirit with every purchase you make. And with Ball State Financial, you'll get all the convenience, security, and hometown service you deserve from people who love this community as much as you do. Explore the card in your hometown credit union at fcfcu.com/chirp. Ball State Financial, your hometown credit union.
Today we have two very special guests on our program, introducing Lem and Lime.
Hello.
For Starry Lemon Lime Soda.
Thanks for having us.
What is Starry Lemon Lime Soda?
It's a crisp, clear burst of lemon lime flavor, and it's caffeine-free.
Between us, one of you must be a little more important to Starry than the other. Who is it?
We're both important.
So it could just as easily be Starry Lime Lemon Soda.
No, that doesn't sound right.
Oh, I like it.
So you saying hip-hop could be hop-hip?
Works for me.
Starry Lemon Lime Soda. Starry hits different.
You're listening to SportsLink Digital, presented by Victory Honda of Muncie.
Your home for live Ball State sports.
We return from Worthen Arena, 43-21 Ball State entering the third quarter, just seconds away. And a second quarter that was dominated by the Cardinals. Will we see more of the same? That's yet to be determined.
Well, if the trends continue, we will. 26-8 was the box score in favor of the Cardinals in that second quarter. That's just remarkable, especially after a first quarter that was much closer. And, we'll see how the Cardinals, who they send out there to start this second half. But you look at the players they've sent out there. Obviously, we talked about Grace Kingery. She's really done a, majority of the scoring, nearly half for Ball State, but also Tessa Towers. We've seen her making some plays down low in the paint, whether it's putting up a layup or drawing a foul. We know she has a presence under the basket. And then also, someone that's really not lighting up the score sheet, but I still think deserves a lot of credit, is Carson Norman. Just 4 points, but she is such a good facilitator for this offense, passes the ball really well. It almost seems like she knows where her teammates are going to be without even really fully looking. She has 4 points, as I mentioned, but also 4 rebounds, 2 assists. And she's played 16 minutes, so she's spent the vast majority of the time out there for Ball State. So she's definitely someone that has a positive impact for sure.
And Norman's game IQ unreal. NIU takes it up left to right to open the third quarter. Nevaeh Wingate, she has a sea of Cardinal white at the free throw line surrounding her. NIU slows it down, left side, Hermoso rifles over to Lacine, to the near corner Sorensen, pushes baseline, handoff Wingate, a jumper, misses off the attachment. Ball State, they move quickly to open this third quarter. They go right to left. Carson Norman on the near quarter. She motors inside on the high block, a spin move on a hop to Anissa Gai, flips it up and good underneath the basket for 2, 45-21 Ball State.
Just as we were talking about it, Carson Norman picks up another assist.
And a foul called on the floor. Looks like it goes against Bree Salenbine of Ball State. It occurred on the high block. And for Carson Norman, that's her 3rd assist of the matchup. Going back to that last play.
Yeah, even just they're showing it on the Jumbotron in the arena right now, just seeing how she faked one way, then turn around. Good stuff.
NIU with Lacine. Carves her way to the cup, but she kicks out to Wingate. Whips it over to Wingate down low from a pass from Sercanta. And a foul called on the floor once again against Salenbine. That forces Brady Salih to sub her out for Zen Verboot.
Yeah, 2 quick ones for Salenbine. You saw that one. I think maybe she, as she was trying to make a play on the ball, just got that other hand, maybe making too much contact and drawing the call.
She did foul out 2 games ago against Central Michigan. Maybe something to monitor as we move forward. In a 45-21 Ball State lead, just under 9 minutes to go in the third quarter. Foul called on the floor again. The Cardinals get the foul called against them again. It's on Verboot.
That's something, I mean, we talked about what would it take for NIU to come back in this one. If they get a foul advantage early, maybe get into the bonus for a good chunk of this quarter, that could be a start.
Sercanta defers to her right. Hermoso in the near corner. A lob up inside. Verboot intercepts for Ball State. They take it the other way with Carson Norman. To the far corner, Anissa Gai. Lob up inside. Towers too easy on the flip up. 47-21.
And at least from here, that looked like a tough angle shot. She was almost not entirely, but at least partially seemed like she was under the basket rather than to the side of it.
Jump ball called. Anissa Gai doing all she can to fight for possession. They give it to Ball State because the possession arrow is in their favor, but Anissa Gai really fighting for that.
Yeah, she is not afraid to get physical.
A defensive pest, many could call her. In a 47-21 Cardinal advantage, just north of 8 minutes to go in the third quarter. Speaking of, it is Anissa Gai who lasers over to Verboot. Cross-court pass, Norman at 3, drains it. 50-21, Carson Norman gets it done from downtown. It's Lacine who takes it up for the Huskies. On a hop to Hermoso. Now it's Sercanta. Norman picks her pocket. Back the other way, Kingery, a left wing 3. Book it! She ties a career high right there, 53-21. Mind you, we're just in the third quarter.
And she made it look so easy. That was almost like, you talk about like in hockey, you talk about a one-timer shot. That one, she got that ball, and it felt like she somehow shot it before she even caught it, if that makes sense. Just so in sync, so effortless. My goodness, she just can't miss tonight.
The Grace Kingery show continues with 7:46 to go in the third quarter. Ball State leads 53-21. You're listening to SL Digital Radio, presented by Victory Honda of Muncie.
Victory Honda of Muncie. We're not just another car dealership, and here's why. We stand behind every car we sell and are dedicated to helping our customers save time and money. All our pre-owned cars undergo a rigorous 182-point inspection and come with a 90-day warranty to ensure that you're getting a Victory quality vehicle. Plus, you'll get 2 years of complimentary oil changes and tire rotations. We're part of a top 15 dealership group and have an enormous selection of vehicles with access to inventory at over 45 locations. You always get more for your trade and the best possible rates with us. We have an excellent relationship with hundreds of lenders. Our exclusive Car Doc maintenance and membership program will help you save hundreds of dollars in the process of maintaining your vehicle. Lastly, our state-of-the-art body shop and certified technicians perform high-quality repairs and paintwork on most vehicle makes and models. Victory Honda of Muncie. We're not just another car dealership.
At Kroger, you never compromise. You get high quality and low prices. Like you never compromise your meal with our spring salad mix, guaranteed fresh. And you never compromise your budget with lower prices on over 1,000 items. And you never compromise your appetite with our golden brown bread that's baked fresh in store. And you never compromise your wallet with our lower prices. Hand it to Kroger shoppers. You never compromise. Kroger. Fresh for everyone.
SportsLink is the official production partner of Ball State Athletics.
All the chirp you can handle.
The Cardinals dominating in the nest tonight, 53-21 over NIU, 7:46 to go in the third quarter. We come out of the media timeout. Ryan, Ball State in command, due in large part to a career-high 23 points from Grace Kingery tonight.
And she's done almost all of it from 3-point, 7 for 8 from distance. I mean, that is just so incredible. And again, like it's not like, especially as the game's gone on, that NIU doesn't know that she's capable of that. And certainly even just, I'm sure in NIU's game prep watching film for this one, they pointed Kingery out as someone that is a threat in that area of the court. But it's just been amazing to see how effortless she makes it. It's almost like, even this most recent one, I talked about it, compared it to like a one-timer in hockey where it's just you get the ball and shoot, see it, shoot it, that kind of mentality where it's just receiving the pass and getting into good form for the shot and then making the shot. It all just happens like with the snap of your fingers. It's been a treat to watch a game like this.
Here, let me shoot you with this, Ryan. The most amount of three-pointers made by a Ball State Cardinal this year, Kingery surpassed that with 6. Who was that Cardinal who had the 6 three-pointers?
This year?
Yeah.
Was it also her?
Yeah, it was also Grace Kingery.
Not surprising.
Yeah, so she's 1 and 2 in that regard. NIU out of the media timeout, left to right they work. Nadeshka Lassine takes it up. The St. Bonaventure transfer. Lasers over to her right to Sorensen, who's in a jam. Towers intercepts it. Cardinals in transition. Norman, a chest pass to the left to Tagai. Hands off Kingery. Ball State moves it around the perimeter with Verboot on the right wing. A foul called on the floor goes against NIU. A change made for the Huskies. Maria Saracanta, she checks in for Emily Sorensen. Cardinals inbound on the far side, left side of the court. Carson Norman at the top of the key. Bounce pass underneath the basket. Towers goes underhand and hits the layup, 55-21.
Another great pass right there from Norman, and then Towers just doing what she does, really good hand-eye coordination from her, and she just knows how to get that right bounce off the backboard to have it fall.
About 7 minutes to go in the third quarter. Right side, Hermoso pulls the string from 3, catapults off the attachment. Ball State, they move quickly with Anise Tagai on the left arc. Rifles to her right to Verboot. Underneath the basket, Kingery up and under, misses it off the back iron. NIU gets the board, and a foul called on the floor in transition. It was Lassine who got fouled by Tagai of Ball State.
It's tough to find a bright spot for this third quarter for the Huskies, but they have drawn 4 fouls. That's something. That is a stat that is in their favor in this quarter.
Maybe that's all they have.
I'm trying.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Yeah, having to pull deep with about 6:38 and counting to go in the third quarter. 55-21. NIU still yet to score in this quarter. Towers the block over Lacine. Dominating. Towers coast to coast. Foul called. Looks like it goes against NIU. Teresa Mamemba didn't get her feet set from Towers, but just pure domination as Towers ripped that from Lacine.
At both ends, right? What a block that was. Just flat out stuffed, and then at the other end drawing the foul.
Speaking of fouls, Zen Verboot off of the inbound. She's fouled on the shot underneath the basket, so it'll be 2 free throws from the freshman from Belgium. NIU makes a quick change. Out goes Mamemba. In comes Hermoso. Georgia Guarini checks in for Carson Norman on the Ball State side. So in a 55-21 Cardinal lead with 6:24 to go in the third quarter, Verboot, her first free throw, goes in and out. Verboot, going back to that Central Michigan game 2 games ago, played 30 minutes. A big part of that 6-point Cardinal win. She hits the second free throw, 56-21 Cardinals. Sarah Conta on the left arc for NIU. North of 6 minutes to go in the third quarter. No look pass to the near corner. Lacine tries the three. Unable to connect. Goes out of bounds on the long rebound attempt on the baseline. It stays with NIU.
And NIU, we're almost 4 minutes into the third quarter. They've yet to score in this quarter. So, even just, you think bigger than just winning the game. You still want your players to leave this game heading into the next one with some sort of confidence, some more things to build on.
A 13-0 Ball State run in this third quarter. Simone Johnson on the left arc. Goes between her legs. Defers off to the far side for Lacine. Drives in with her right hand. Zuri Ransom the takeaway for Ball State. Now Georgia Guarini on the reset. Handoff Grace Kingery, left arc. Bounce pass, pick and roll. Caballero up and under, good. 58-21 Ball State. A little over 5:30 to go in the third quarter. Nevaeh Wingate straight away for the Huskies. A chest pass on the high block for Hermoso. A lob up inside was batted by Caballero. NIU saves it from going out of bounds on the far side with Johnson. Johnson tries a three-pointer from the top of the key and connects. 58-24, but Simone Johnson making it a little bit closer.
Yeah, it's something. NIU finally on the board in the second half, and credit to them for staying composed after a really nice block by Caballero earlier in the possession.
Zuri Ransom, left arc, pushes in with her right hand, goes strong, draws the foul on the shot as she was falling back. So Zuri Ransom to shoot 2 with 4:58 to go in the third quarter. 58-24 Ball State, and a timeout called on the floor. So, Ryan, in a matchup that's really been all Ball State, and NIU, they just scored, like you mentioned, their first points of the quarter with about 5 minutes to go in it. What has been the main difference? I know there's been many, but what's been the main difference between these two teams?
I think Ball State is just in rhythm right now. You can tell this is a team that they make each other better. And those, I think, are the most dangerous teams, because you could have good players, but then to have players that help bring out the best in each other, that no matter what combination of 5 players you have out on the court, they can function as a cohesive unit. You can tell they practice together. You can tell that they have plays drawn up. They know each other's strengths. They know where they're going to be. They're just more in sync. And it's just really an honest assessment of where these teams are. Ball State, really been good these last few years, defending MAC champions. NIU, a team kind of in transition, first-year head coach, a era of change for their entire athletic program, leaving the Mid-American Conference after this season. So it's just, I think, the broader theme of this game showing itself in the most extreme fashion in the third quarter.
I do want to flip the script a little bit with more of a positive note about NIU. As we've mentioned it many a time, it is National Girls and Women in Sports Day today. And for NIU, it's more than just first-year head coach J.C. Brooks. How about assistant coach E.C. Hill for NIU, who is a legend in this Huskies program?
And what a great get for NIU to get her to come back and have her be on this staff and provide, leadership, experience, and just insight from someone who has done it before at NIU. That is just something that maybe it might not bear fruit right away, but just when you're talking about building a culture, creating a foundation, getting an all-time legend to your program in the building might not be a bad place to start.
Certainly when you make the move to a new conference the next year, there's a lot of uncertainty. If you look on the flip side of the Mid-American Conference with UMass, who went from the A10 to the Mid-American Conference, it's been a seamless transition. UMass currently third in the conference with a 7-2 record.
Yeah, they found themselves right at home, right behind Ball State in the conference standings. Got Ball State at 9-1 at second, UMass at third with a 7-2 overall record. So certainly, it seems like, obviously in the last few years with college athletics, we've seen so much conference realignment, and even with some of the recent changes, I think something that the MAC can pride themselves in is, at least for the most part, they still geographically make sense for the most part. I know with, UMass now maybe you're going a little bit further east, but still overall a lot of Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, Michigan, truly feels like mid-America, whereas you have, like Stanford versus Cal is an ACC game now. Somehow it's just so crazy where we've gotten.
Zuri Ransom, the first free throw. How about UCLA in being in the same conference as Indiana? That's where we're at right now.
And just the toll of travel for the student athletes, that long of a flight for a conference game, tough.
Yeah, we are in the era of super conferences. Luckily, it doesn't affect the mid-majors too much for now. Ashlyn Brook, the takeaway for Ball State. In transition, Guarini underneath the basket, scoops it up and good for two. 62-24 Ball State. Just an absolute bludgeoning. Kyra Conwell checks in for the first time for NIU. She takes it up the floor. Momemba on the left side, lasers over to her right. Huskies slow it down. Top of the key, Momemba. The lob up inside for Brass, who checks in for the first time. She's double teamed. The shot is blocked by Caballero. Out of bounds on the baseline, stays with NIU, but Caballero stuffing Brass.
That's the second block she's had in a couple minutes. We saw earlier, I was actually on the possession NIU did end up scoring on, but that's, an opportunity here of a player, maybe not a mainstream starter, but using this lopsided game as an opportunity to show the coaching staff more of what she's got.
Sorensen with one on the shot clock has to heave it up, misses it short, the air ball. Ball State takes possession off of the shot clock violation, but Ryan, monster blocks aren't just reserved for men's volleyball. Alba Caballero getting it done for women's basketball.
No. We saw, men's volleyball, Will Basilio taking half-court shots it's a crossover type of day.
They'll be in action tomorrow right here at Worthen Arena. Caballero at the MAC logo. Over to Guarini. Straight away, Brook, a three-point attempt off of the attachment as Brass takes it up the floor for the Huskies. Conwell in control for NIU. It's Brass straight away. Lasers over to her right to Haddad. The first time she's checked in today as well. Near corner, Sorensen. Unable to fall. Ball State moves quickly. Ashlyn Brook off of the rainbow pass. The kick out to Verboot. With her left hand, a spin move into the paint. A handoff to Caballero on the far mid-range end. Back over to Verboot at the MAC logo. Surrounded by a sea of NIU black. She's fouled on the shot with 3:16 to go in the third quarter. 62-24 Ball State. The Cardinals are in the bonus. And Verboot to shoot two free throws once more. Her last trip, she went 1 for 2.
And earlier we were identifying, the fouls are actually in favor of NIU. No longer NIU up to 5 fouls. Ball State still at 4.
in a game where we're just really scratching to find an NIU positive. I think that was the one that they had as Verboot hits the first. Yeah, looking at the turnover margin as well, NIU doubling Ball State 14-7. Verboot goes 2 for 2, and a change made. Brooke Winchester checks in to the matchup for the first time for the Cardinals. The freshman comes in for Zen Verboot. North of 3 minutes to go in the third quarter, 64-24 Cardinals. Ball State still brings that full court press. Sorensen gets it across over to Conwell. Left arc for the Huskies. NIU in black, Ball State in white. Cross-court pass to the right side, Brass. Back over to Sorensen, top of the key. Brass drives in baseline, tipped away by Winchester. Cardinals move quickly across the court. A bounce pass and another bounce pass in the middle of the lane for Ransom. Ball State goes back out to the perimeter. Guarini left arc, pulls the string. Off the right side of the rim, Brooke Winchester fought for the offensive board, but Brass ripped it away. 2.5 minutes to go in the third quarter. Cardinals, they lead by 40. Kyra Conwell, left side baseline. Foul on the floor, on the shot, they should say. It's against Zuri Ransom. And the Huskies make a pair of changes, going back to a couple of players who started in the matchup. Marta Hermoso and Maria Saracanta, both hailing from Spain, check into the matchup. The freshman Kyra Conwell, her first free throw is good from Chicago, Illinois, Butler College Prep High School. NIU also in the bonus. Conwell goes 2 for 2. A little over 2 minutes to go in the third quarter. Ball State a 38-point lead over the Huskies. Guarini in the far corner. Her three-point attempt goes too long. Winchester, the offensive rebound, goes up and good. Brooke Winchester adds 2 more points for Ball State to make it a 40-point advantage.
She hustled down there fast in case that shot missed and got rewarded with the ball coming right to her and a high percentage shot down low.
Nevaeh Wingate carves her way inside. A foul called on the floor as she tried to spin her way into the paint. But remember, NIU is in that bonus, so Wingate will shoot a free throw. Nevaeh Wingate to shoot 2 free throws, the junior who started in this matchup. She hits the first. That now makes it 7 points scored by NIU in this third quarter. Make it 8. She goes 2 for 2 from the line. As Georgia Guarini takes it up for Ball State, she's between the rings. The lob up over to Zuri Ransom on the right side. A screen to her left from Winchester. Motors her way into the cup. The shot is good with the foul. Zuri Ransom looks to complete the 3-point play.
And that's just good basketball. You know, you're getting down low, you're drawing contact, and, you know, she kind of split 2 defenders going to the basket trying to get there, but still was able to draw some contact and get the shot up and in. We'll see if she can finish off the 3-point play.
Zuri Ransom misses that one. Ransom with 6 points on the day. 1.5 minutes to go in the third quarter. Pass too long for Wingate. She's unable to handle it on the baseline, out of bounds to Ball State. Guarini takes it up for the Cardinals. It's mostly their second unit out there. Winchester poked from behind at the free throw line. They call it a foul against Nevaeh Wingate.
Pretty foul-heavy third quarter we've seen. I think, you know, maybe the team's getting a little tired, maybe not as physically disciplined or as sharp as they used to be earlier on.
Brooke Winchester out of the bonus to shoot 2 free throws. The first one's able to fall. Winchester from Warsaw, Indiana, appeared in the state championship game in Indiana last year. They ended up losing to Lawrence North. She goes 2 for 2. But now here she is looking to compete for another title, potentially at the MAC level. 70-28 Ball State. A little over a minute to go in the third quarter. Wingate on the high block. Pushes in with her left hand. Kicks out over to Conwell on the left side. Rifles over to Sarah Conta. Pushes inside with Nevaeh Wingate. Sarah Conta underneath the basket. On a hop to Sorensen. Flips it up and good with the foul. So Emily Sorensen now an opportunity to complete the three-point play for NIU.
Ball State couldn't do it just a moment ago. We'll see if NIU could do it right here. But I don't know if it wouldn't quite double their third quarter total, but it definitely, yeah, 3 points. I mean, they have, 7 at the moment, so we'll see.
She's able to complete the three-point play. 70-31, Ball State out in front. Under a minute to go in the third quarter. Brooke drives baseline on a hop to Caballero, up and over, good for 2. Ball State makes it 72-31 over NIU, and a whistle blown with 44 seconds to go in the third quarter. The official pointing towards head coach Brady Salih, but nothing changes. NIU takes it up the floor.
Yeah, I'm not sure what that was. We saw Coach Salih for a second almost walk up towards the official with a hand in the air. Not sure what he was asking or saying, but we play on.
Wingate off of a handoff, push from behind. It goes out of bounds off of Caballero of the Cardinals on the baseline. It stays with NIU. A little over 30 seconds to go in the third quarter. 72-31 Ball State. Sarah Conta, the lob up at the top of the key for Wingate. Handoff to Sarah Conta. Now it's Sorensen who controls it. Rifles over to the near side. A three-point try is too long that time for Mememba. With about 10 seconds to go on the game clock for the Cardinals. A 41-point advantage in this third quarter. Guarini goes off to her right. Pushes inside, angles her way to the rim and beats the horn. The cherry on top to this dominant third quarter for Ball State, outscoring NIU 29-10. A 74-31 lead for Ball State over NIU. And we'll be right back with this fourth quarter of action. The Cardinals looking to put a button on top to what will more than likely be their 10th MAC win of the season. You're listening to SL Digital Radio, presented by Victory Honda of Muncie.
Behind every strong hip and knee. Behind every strong shoulder.
Good catch.
Behind every strong team is our highly skilled team of experts in orthopedics. IU Health is the official healthcare and sports medicine provider of Ball State Athletics, and we're here to keep you moving. From acute injuries to chronic pain and conditions, go where the athletes go. Walk-in appointments for new injuries are available Monday through Friday from 7:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. And you can always schedule a same-day or next-day appointment and wait from the comfort of your home. Visit iuhealth.org/MuncieOrtho to learn more.
Looking for flawless awards, trophies, plaques, medals, or engraved keepsakes right here in Muncie? Head to Awards Plus, your hometown expert for over 25 years. Located at 301 West Main Street, they're the area's leading trophy shop, serving the Muncie and surrounding area. Awards Plus delivers top quality with attention to detail and fast, reliable service. Open Monday through Friday, 9 to 4. Stop by or call 765-282-3511. Awards Plus, where the achievements take center stage. A proud partner of Ball State Athletics.
Sometimes it's not the moment. It's the moment before the moment. The moment you make a choice. The moment you take control. The moment only you can own. GameBridge lets you invest on your terms. So you're not only in charge of this moment, but all the moments to come. Start investing now.
The best stories in Ball State sports, plus live broadcasts right in your timeline.
Follow us at BSU SportsLink.
For the best stories in Ball State sports, our latest videos, and SportsLink program information, you can find this at ballstatesportslink.com. Again, ballstatesportslink.com. I'm Roen Elbert. That's Ryan Stojetz. The Cardinals with a dominating 74-31 lead over NIU entering this fourth quarter. For Ball State, you've done basically everything right. Really not much they can do in the fourth quarter, but what's the message to maybe the second and third unit players who are out there right now?
You got a chance to really earn some more minutes down the road. I mean, you got a chance to show what you could do to potentially kind of get ready for, let's face it, like down the road in the MAC championship, in the MAC tournament, if someone goes down, are you going to be ready to have your number called? And who would be that next person up if one of the core starting players goes down or has to miss a game for whatever reason? So I think the message to the second and third stringers, and I mean, let's face it, Ball State has been fortunate to be in some lopsided games that they're on the right end of before, but it's, hey, now's my chance to shine. And even if it's not for this year, trying to maybe earn a starting spot next year, playing the long game a little bit, you always want to make a good impression for the coaching staff. Again, it's like there might not be much left to decide in terms of the wins and losses of this game, but the future of the Ball State program very much on display in a way in the final 10 minutes.
Yeah, definitely. If you're a Ball State women's basketball fan, this is what you want to see. This is the future of the program on full display. Feed inside for Wingate. Cutting underneath the basket is Hermoso, who gets it up and under. 74-33 Ball State. Man, I'm out of it now, too. Just a little over 9 minutes to go in this matchup. Ashlyn Brooke has it top of the key. Pick and roll. Winchester bobbles it. And it was Caballero who picked up the mess but missed the shot wide. Lacine takes it up for the Huskies. Rifles over to her left. Ashlyn Brooke nearly gets the takeaway, but Sorensen is able to recover. The Huskies with, for the most part, their starting lineup, 4 out of their 5 starters out there, including Hermoso, who controls it at the point. Underneath the basket, Guarini intercepts the pass. Ball State in transition. Ransom slows it down, misses the layup short, and Sorensen inhales it. Cross-court pass. Wingate goes strong. The shot falls and the foul. So Nevaeh Wingate to shoot to try and complete the three-point play for NIU.
And for NIU, you're barring something absolutely ridiculous, you're not coming back to win this game, but especially when you're a program that's rebuilding, that is not where they want to be yet in terms of competing for conference championships. You're not going to like to hear this if you're an NIU fan, but sometimes it's about process over results. Just getting something going in this fourth quarter in Worthen Arena, generate some positive momentum heading into the MAC Sunbelt Challenge this weekend.
She's able to complete the three-point play. NIU brings a press. They draw a jump ball on Zuri Ransom. The possession arrow goes to Ball State, but the Huskies still fighting despite the large margin right now, being down 74-36.
And you can see the appreciation even from just the coaches and players on the bench, still getting into it, still cheering. And that's what you got to do. You got to build a culture. You got to, when it's not easy to do, you still got to buy into, loving your teammates, loving the program. And, as I like to say, small wins are still wins in a way. So just, no one likes the term moral victories, but at this point when you're down 40, you just got to celebrate what you can get.
Cardinals got 2 points back there with Alba Caballero on a layup. It's 76-36. Underneath the basket, Momemba goes up and under over Caballero, 76-38. Just under 8 minutes to go in this matchup. Georgia Guarini controls it for Ball State. Motors her way into the paint, angles over to Caballero, but a foul is called on the floor before she can even get the pass off. NIU makes a change. Saman Johnson checks back into the matchup, and so does Marta Hermoso. And for Ball State, it's Violeta Rojas who checks in for the first time today. Rojas, she has some tape on that right knee. She missed some time, but she's back out there again. Rojas pushes in with her left hand, defers over to Caballero, but before she can do that, she's caught traveling.
Yeah, and again, you know, we talk about how deep this Ball State team is, and they are, but in this fourth quarter so far where it's been almost exclusively backup players, you still kind of see there's still some kinks you kind of have to work out, but, you know, a part of being so good, a perk you get is you get to do that in real game action with some of your lower on the depth chart players.
Sorensen tried the three, unable to get it to fall. Rojas the rebound. Cross-court pass to Caballero on the far end. Ball State sharing it on the perimeter with a little over 7 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Caballero hands off to Guarini on the right arc. Now it's Rojas, top of the key. Slows it down, dishes over to her right to Caballero. Whips it inside for Winchester. Surrounded by two Huskies, flips it up and good. 78-38, Brooke Winchester adds two more. Simone Johnson goes between the legs for NIU. She's between the Cardinal head and the top of the key. Pushes inside, puts up a floater over Caballero. The latter wins in Alba. Under 7 minutes to go in this matchup. Ball State leads by 40. Laura Martinez at the scorer's table for the Cardinals. Rojas is underneath the basket, up and under, misses short. If Laura checks in, we may see all three of the three Amigas out there for Ball State. All three of those players from Spain. Mamemba, a deep jumper from beyond the free throw line, is offline. Guarini the drive. Kicks out over to Rojas. Caballero tries a three. In and out, and a foul called on the floor against Guarini. Both teams make changes. How about this for NIU? Julia Solberger checks in. This is her first appearance since December 29th against St. Thomas. And for Ball State, it's Laura Martinez who checks in.
Teams just about emptying out their respective benches, which, you know, to be expected in a game this late with this type of score.
Yeah, for Ball State, every player on the roster has gotten some time on the floor now. In a 40-point Ball State lead, Haddad controls it on the high block for NIU. Dishes over far side to Hermoso. 5 on the shot clock. Simone Johnson controls with her right hand. A step back in the near mid-range area. It's blocked by Guarini at the buzzer. They call it a shot clock violation. Georgia Guarini with the stuff.
Yeah, and you can see there, Johnson knowing that the shot clock's running down, but just nowhere to go. I mean, that is just strong defense from Guarini, forcing the shot clock violation.
Zuri Ransom checks in for Alba Caballero. For Ball State, with 5:30 to go in this matchup, a 40-point advantage. Just something you don't see every day in the Mid-American Conference. Blowouts in conference play. Rojas thought about a top of the key three. She motors inside, pushed from behind by her fellow Spaniard and Hermoso, but a foul called on the floor after the fact against Ball State and Rojas. Here come the Huskies with Simone Johnson, north of 5 minutes to go. And a 40-point Ball State lead. A bounce pass off to her left to Sorensen. Rainbow pass underneath the basket for Hermoso is intercepted by Guarini. Cardinals move quick. Winchester pulls the string from three, in and out. Huskies slow it down with Johnson. In a game that's been all Ball State. Cardinals shooting 62%, NIU 27%. Underneath the basket, Hermoso poked away on the baseline. It stays here. Immediate timeout called as Ball State leads by 40. We'll take one last break before we come back for the conclusion of what will be the Cardinals' 10th win in MAC play. You're listening to SL Digital Radio, presented by Victory Honda of Muncie.
Looking for flawless awards, trophies, plaques, medals, or engraved keepsakes right here in Muncie? Head to Awards Plus, your hometown expert for over 25 years. Located at 301 West Main Street, they're the area's leading trophy shop, serving the Muncie and surrounding area. Awards Plus delivers top quality with attention to detail and fast, reliable service. Open Monday through Friday, 9 to 4. Stop by or call 765-282-3511. Awards Plus, where the achievements take center stage. A proud partner of Ball State Athletics.
Sometimes it's not the moment. It's the moment before the moment. The moment you make a choice. The moment you take control. The moment only you can own. GameBridge lets you invest on your terms. So you're not only in charge of this moment, but all the moments to come. Start investing now.
From the bell tower to your smartphone, anywhere in the world.
Never miss Ball State Sports with SportsLink Digital.
All Cardinals here tonight. With 4:32 to go in this matchup, Ball State leads by 40 over NIU, 78-38. I'm Roen Elbert. That's Ryan Stojetz. Ryan, let's take a quick look around the Mid-American Conference.
Well, to start, we've already had 3 games go final. Akron defeated Toledo, earning their second MAC win, 77-74. So maybe a mild upset there, you could say. UMass, in their first year in the MAC, still not missing a beat. They beat Eastern Michigan 75-60, and then Central blew out Buffalo 90-59. Buffalo still winless in MAC play, and then 2 other games in addition to this one that we're calling going on live now. You said conference blowouts are rare. Well, we've got 2 going on right now because Ohio is beating Western Michigan 55-19 in the third quarter. And then finally, rounding out the around the MAC scoreboard, Kent State leads Bowling Green 39-33. That one about midway through the third quarter as well. So a lot of action here in the Mid-American Conference this evening.
Yeah, a lot of ups and downs. I want to go back to what you were saying about Buffalo. They're winless in MAC play, yet they're the reigning WNIT champions. It's crazy the turnaround.
It is. It's just year to year, especially now more than ever in college sports. It's truly year to year, different teams. Although I will say a drop off of that margin is rare still even now.
The Huskies controlled on the right side of the court. NIU, they're currently 11th in the MAC. In the preseason poll, they were slated to finish last. Ball State was slated to finish 4th. Currently, they're 2nd. Simon Johnson drives baseline, goes up and over for 2. 78-40 Cardinals. Ashlyn Brook takes it up for Ball State. Goes over to Zuri Ransom to the left, a screen from Rojas. Flips it over. Martinez, a 3-point try, misses it short. Offensive rebound from Rojas. She misses. Winchester picks it up and puts it up for 2 points. 80-40 Ball State.
That was a third chance opportunity for Ball State. Cardinals not letting up at all. Again, you know, some of these second and third string players really want to use this as an opportunity to show what they could do. So expect them to continue to play until zeros are on the clock.
NIU unable to capitalize on the opportunity. Rojas in transition. Too much mustard on the pass from Ransom in the paint. Huskies the other way. Near corner, Solenberg. Underneath the basket to Hermoso. Lasers over to Conwell. They reset with Simon Johnson. Going back to the rebounding. Ball State out-rebounding them 32-22. Hermoso rifles over to Johnson. 5 on the shot clock. She has it straight away. The give to Hermoso. A 3-point attempt off the left side of the rim. They call it a shot clock violation. It goes to Ball State.
Yeah, that one was close to hitting the rim. I think it maybe just went a little bit to the left and just hit the backboard and didn't make any contact with the rim.
Optical illusion. Well, either way, for NIU, wouldn't have made much of a difference, especially considering the circumstances they're in right now. Violeta Rojas, she handles it on the right side of the perimeter. A bouncer to Brooke. Conwell pokes it away, but Brooks recovers, and then Conwell fouls Brooke in the process the other way back. Cardinals the inbound on the near side. Looking ahead for NIU, we were talking earlier with Ball State in the MAC Sun Belt Challenge taking on Troy. NIU this Saturday, they host Texas State. It's all about the battle for the belt. As Brooke Winchester controls it on the right side of the perimeter. Now it's Brooke, goes underhand on the shot. She is fouled. Ashlyn Brooke to shoot 2 free throws for Ball State.
And just quickly going back to the MAC Sun Belt Challenge, you mentioned NIU hosting Texas State in the first portion of the MAC Sun Belt Challenge, which was hosted by the Sun Belt teams earlier this year. NIU lost to Southern Miss on the road, 77-56, and after that first stretch of the MAC Sun Belt Challenge, the Sun Belt leads currently 8-5 collectively, but again, this round is going to be hosted by the MAC, and as we talked about earlier, Ball State will be right here hosting Troy.
Yeah, what I find funny is it flips for the men. The men had the first set hosted by the MAC, and then now they're going on the road against Sun Belt teams. Ashlyn Brooke, she went 1 for 2 from the stripe. It's 81-40, Ball State the lead. Mamemba underneath the basket goes too strong, but she's fouled by Winchester. So Teresa Mamemba to shoot 2 free throws for the Huskies. Yeah, the MAC Sun Belt Challenge, as you were mentioning it, Ryan. Such a great tradition, and for Ball State, they have such a tough matchup on hand with Troy. They're second in the Sun Belt. They're 9-2 in conference play, 18-4 overall. It'll be a tall task.
That is going to be a fun one, and that's going to be one that'll be a ESPN Plus broadcast produced by the students of SportsLink. So be sure to tune into that one, entirely student-run broadcast. I know that's one that the SportsLink crew is really excited for, because it's not every day you get 2 teams of that caliber that you get to do a broadcast for. It's definitely going to be a great show.
Yeah, right now ESPN has Ball State as a 51% chance of winning. That's how close it is with Troy. It's 81-42 Cardinals over NIU. Ransom goes strong to the cup, misses it well short. Under 2 minutes to go in this fourth quarter. Simone Johnson takes it up for the Huskies. A bounce pass on the high block to Mamemba. A Euro step goes strong with the layup off the glass, inhaled by Laura Martinez of Ball State. The Cardinals will advance to 10-1 in MAC play, 18-5 overall. NIU will fall to 4-18 and 2-9 in MAC play. Laura Martinez has it pickpocketed by Simone Johnson. Huskies move quick the other way. Behind the back pass, Mamemba flips it up for 2 and good. Wow, Simone Johnson behind the back. Even though this has been all Ball State, a little bit of theatrics now. Over 1 minute to go in this matchup. Zuri Ransom, the push. Puts it up and good. That's the cherry on top of it all. It's 83-44 Cardinals. Now under a minute to play in this matchup. Start the bus, as they say. Conwell carves her way in, gets 2 points. How about that to take it to the road?
Again, you credit NIU playing hard, just trying to get some stuff to build on heading into their next game. I mean, that's what you got to do. I mean, it's tough to find positives in a game like this, but, they're there. And I think you even go back to the first quarter where NIU hung around with Ball State really well, only trailed by 4 after the first 10 minutes. Definitely some bright spots there.
Shot clock is now off. It's 83-46 Ball State, and for NIU, it's going to be a quiet bus ride back to the Kalb. And the last time that these two teams will play each other as conference foes, Simone Johnson scores anyway with 1 second to go on the game clock. And that's all she wrote. The Cardinals win the final chapter of this rendition, for now, of Cardinals and Huskies, 83-48. It was all Ball State from the beginning, and they prove a point in the Mid-American Conference.
They sure do. Ball State pulled ahead in the first quarter to a modest score of 17-13, but then after they outscored the Huskies 26-8 in the second frame, there was no looking back. The Cardinals complete the season series sweep of the Huskies. They beat them up at NIU just over a month ago. They get a dominant win here. They stay in position to be second in the Mid-American Conference, still just a game back of Miami, Ohio, who they lost to earlier this season in Worthen Arena. So a great day for Ball State. They take care of business against a team on paper that when you look at the standings, they should take care of. You still got to go do it. They did. NIU got to be some disappointment. They were coming off of a game where they scored a season-high 70 points against Central Michigan, a game that they did lose, but a game that they were into the final minutes, so still maybe some positive vibes heading into this one from the Huskies side, but that ultimately did not translate for them onto the floor.
It really was all Ball State. Credit to Grace Kingery. She had 23 points. Only 3 of those came in the second half. After maybe about the 7-minute mark of the third quarter, we just never saw Grace Kingery again because Ball State didn't need her out there.
Oh yeah, if this game is a little bit closer, she has that career high, no doubt. But you understand it from a coaching perspective, no need to force it. And especially, Kingery's only a sophomore. I'm sure she's going to have many more games throughout her, 2.5 years left here at Ball State where she's putting up numbers like that. But man, it's almost, obviously for Ball State, you like that they won as comfortably as they did, but just kind of selfishly, just almost as a fan sort of watching this game, like I wanted to see Grace Kingery continue to make those threes look so easy. It was an incredible first half. 20 points in the first half. Again, if this game was closer, who knows what she would have done. I guess we'll never know. It's almost just kind of a shame because, again, that was one of the best individual halves I could at least remember seeing in a long time.
Ryan, let's be honest. If Kingery stayed in that game, I think she could have dropped 40. That's really what it was looking like.
I mean, she was on pace to, mathematically, so for sure, I agree.
Yeah, that was just unreal in the first half. But I think the main takeaway was the way Ball State was able to lay out this kind of punishment.
Yeah, and I think they did it just in all 3 phases. Offensively, we talk about how Ball State, they're quick, there's quick passing, there's quick movement, there's a lot of moving parts. It's an offense that, to the outside observer, probably seems complex, but this Ball State team just has the camaraderie and the trust in each other where they can run a fast-paced offense but still not be sloppy. We saw NIU maybe some possessions where they maybe tried to replicate that, a lot of quick passing, taking down a lot of the shot clock, but you can tell they just didn't quite have the rhythm that Ball State did. And again, what we talked about all broadcast, NIU, a shorter bench, a team that just, as a program, they're just not where Ball State is right now in terms of competing for conference championships, in terms of scoring the type of numbers. I mean, 83 points for Ball State. That's, that's good, but that's, sort of average, par for the course, okay. Because this is a Ball State team that scored triple digits 4 times this season. NIU, as I talked about just a minute ago, 70 points last time out was their season high in team total points. So just 2 programs kind of in different stages right now. I think that's the simplest way to say it. We've talked about that throughout the broadcast. Credit NIU for fighting hard till the end, but ultimately the talent discrepancy, the depth discrepancy, the experience discrepancy, just really, especially after that first quarter, just became the whole story.
This is a matchup that NIU, they're going to want to forget. I've heard the rule before. I've talked to a lot of coaches across other sports where they said after midnight you forget it. For NIU, that's going to be tough for them to scrub out of their memory.
Yeah, I mean, they still probably won't even be home by midnight because they still got probably what's about a 5-hour bus ride. So I don't know if it'll happen that fast for them, but I'm sure once they get up tomorrow morning, they'll wake up, they'll be back at home, and it's on to North Texas for the MAC Sun Belt Challenge.
And that's all she wrote here from Worthen Arena. For Roen Elbert and Ryan Stojetz, it's been fun giving you the action tonight. Ball State, they take care of business in a big way. They take down Northern Illinois with a final score of 83-48. And that's been all. Ball State, a huge win and good night, Muncie.
This has been a production of SportsLink Digital Radio.